ich mir das. Es ist ja schon auch ein bisschen ein historischer Tag. Es ist sehr wahrscheinlich die allerletzte Tour. Ab nächstem Jahr dann die Vierschaftournee endlich mit den Damen. Wir haben jetzt die ersten zwei Trainingsdurchgänge gesehen. Kommen jetzt zur Qualifikation. Was waren deine Erfahrungen aus den ersten beiden Durchgängen aus deutscher Sicht?
Ja, ich würde sagen, schon sehr vielversprechend. Ich würde schon sagen, dass wir die eine oder andere sehr schöne weiter von der Mädels sehen. Von der nationalen Gruppe bin ich sehr gespannt, wie sie es hinkriegen, gerade bei der Nervosität. Ich glaube, das kennt jeder von uns, das muss jeder so.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome to Oberstdorf. We are here minutes away from the start of the qualification round for the Viessmann FIS Ski Jumping World Cup. Oberstdorf is the second stop of the 2 nights tour, so the women's equivalent of the Four Hills tournament. And so far, it's been quite exciting. Of course, we're going to be seeing if Nika Prevec from Slovenia can hold on to the lead that she's built out in Garmisch. But the exciting news for the spectators at home, 64 athletes will be competing in today's qualification round. So I think there will be a lot of excitement to see here. The athletes had the chance. Obviously, they couldn't party too late last night because they had to be back on the hill early, getting their 2 training jumps in this morning, and now on to the qualification and the competition. So a very long day of action here. Great to see assistant TD Jessica Jerome representing from the US, one of the pioneer generation of women's ski jumping, still very attached to the sport. Here you'll be seeing the start order of the qualification round. And fun fact, Chiara Kreutzer from Austria actually has the hill record on this hill, set at 141.5 meters in February 2020. So she'll be early on in the rounds and is still looking for her first World Cup points this season. But let's see what she can do. So also Happy New Year to all of you joining me here today. It's great to have you here. The sun is shining in Oberstdorf. And of course, the hill is in great shape. We saw the men competing here on the first leg of the Four Hills tournament, and it was a great competition. Oberstdorf is a favorite for many of the athletes. They have some great training camps here. This is one of the first hills usually to have an ice track where you jump ice to plastic at the end of the summer. So German athletes will also be excited to use the national quota again, get some of these less known names, give them a chance to compete at the World Cup. So Germany will definitely have a strong team at the start today. There's a look at Nika Prevec. Like I said, she is leading this tour, but still ranked second in the World Cup overall behind Nozomi Maruyama. Team Canada will be represented well today, with Natalie Eilers, Nicole Maurer, and Abby Strait, of course. So we are about 1 minute to go. There, Juliana Seifert making her way up the hill. Again, looks like a beautiful day. Had a mix of results there in the qualification rounds, or the training rounds. Nika Prevec coming in first, both jumps with the distances of 133 and 129. Chinese athletes getting warmed up in their own way. And there we're seeing start gate 28. So looking back at the training, we saw some jumps from 26 and 28, but here we go. So starting us off here from Germany, this is Maika Tirala. Maika coming down a little early, but remember, she is enjoying a time to get some experience, jump in front of the home crowd, and it's been an exciting few days for some of these athletes. A lot of action. Maika coming down at 84.5 meters, so that will, of course, be the lead for now, but It's going to be tough to qualify. Remember, in this knockout system, only 30 actually advance to the first round. So 30 advancing to the first round, 15 pairings will be made. First against 30th, second against 29th, and so on. So after that, the 15 winners of the knockout pairs will advance, plus 5 lucky losers. Here comes the next German contender, Kim-Amy Duschek. Also trying to make it over this very long knoll. We're seeing some strong tailwind out there. Micah, our first competitor, had plus 22.8 points of wind compensation. So tailwind plus low speed makes it really challenging for some of these less experienced athletes. But really promising aspects of her jump here. Looking specifically at Kim-Amy, she's 18 years old. Those of you who have been following some of the Junior World Championships, she has been a big contender there for Germany. And she's working on making her step through and up to the World Cup. But we're happy to have him here. Next competitor, another German. Here comes Anna Haeckel. Small and direct, but also struggling with that knoll. Plus 22.2 points for wind compensation. Not the best looking style mark, so that is going to probably be the end of the day for Anna. Yeah, looking back at training, it looks like tailwind has definitely picked up a little bit here for the qualification round, which is unfortunate, but we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. One of the bummers of really being early in the round without the World Cup points is you sometimes are used a bit as a test subject, so I wouldn't be surprised if as we go on in the round we decide to move up a few gates. Unfortunately for these younger unranked athletes, they do not get the benefit of the doubt here. Next up from Germany, here comes Leah Burme. Powerful on the takeoff and also not able to make it over the knoll. Coming down at 75.5 meters, plus 33.9 wind points. Now that is crazy. I think that's some of the worst we've seen in recent competitions this year. So really strong tailwind. Like I said, the combination of the tailwind, low speed, and, well, that hurts. So plus 33.9 is going to help Leah out, bring her up to second place. Bib number 1 is still leading the charge now. That's Micah Tiralia. Next up, we'll see how this goes. Here comes Alvina Holtz. Alvina more experienced on the World Cup, but struggling just the same. Alvina has been part of the World Cup team this season, unlike some of these other athletes that we saw before from Germany, but that just shows how tough it is. Jump of 84 meters and plus 29.5 wind compensation points. And yeah, I can definitely say from experience, having these low bib numbers on days like today it's really bad luck. And, you know, I think in all sports there is something to be said in ski racing. The later you race, the harder the conditions are for the course. So this is, I guess, part of the sport, but hoping we see a jury reaction sometime soon. Would love to have a little bit more speed here. In the center of your screen, Jessica Jerome, assistant TD. She's been present on the Four Hills Tour as well, so getting a lot of action in the last few days. Looking up the hill, we do see a little bit of change here, and that will be good news for Simone Buff. So we've only seen German so far. Simone will be the first athlete from Switzerland to come. And let's see what we're doing here for gate. Moved up to gate 30, so 2 more gates. So she'll have minus 7.6 points there automatically deducted for the extra speed. But let's see how this goes. She had her first World Cup competition in Engelberg. And here comes Simone Buff. Simone definitely very confident and aggressive in her direction. but you can tell she's also disappointed with that jump. And a jump of 84 meters for Simone. For Switzerland, it's been a big year for the women, really making the step. We've had a little bit of a gap there since some of the legends like the Windmüller sisters were leading the team for a while. And the Swiss team was very strategic in the development of their younger athletes, and great to see them now back on the World Cup. So I spoke to this before. She is the hill record holder on this hill, starting a bit earlier than expected, Chiara Kreuzer. And let me tell you, that was, Chiara, of course, we know her. She's very experienced. She World Championship medals, World Cup podiums, all that to her name, but also struggling with the conditions here in Oberstdorf today. Coming down at 86 meters for Chiara, and she'll have those deductions for the extra speed, and puts Chiara into third place. Alvina Holz from Germany leads the charge for now, but again, this has been, big challenge for the women, and we'll see how this continues. Next up from Canada, Natalie Eilers. Natalie with a bit of hesitation there off the end. She missed a lot of training in her recovery from knee surgery. Wasn't able to get on the hill quite as early as she wanted, but trying to make the most of this, of course, with the Olympic season. Natalie trying to support her nation and fill the spot, but unfortunately that wasn't really a good combination. Really challenging wind and a little instability off the end, but we're happy to have her back here and wish her all the best. Okay, next up, here comes Zana Hlukova from Ukraine. You can see not a lot of reaction from her skis, but that could be the longest jump we've seen today. It's really tough for the athletes. You jump out into the air and you feel like there's nothing under you, nothing supporting you. And especially if you're not in top form, it really gets magnified. So Zana trying to make the most of it. Like I said, long jump of the day. But that puts her into third place for now. You can see athletes are not having the most fun right now. Second Swiss athlete to come now. Here comes Rhea Kindliman. Rhea confident with some more height. Great looking jump for the Swiss athlete. Rhea's kind of been on the cusp of being in and out of qualifying for the normal World Cup competitions, which is top 40. So we haven't seen as much of her as we would like this season, but that is a really solid effort for the Swiss athlete. And I believe we will see a new leader. Rhea, 95.5 meters and into first place. You can see she had a good jump and brought that confidence with her, no hesitation. Next up from Austria, Hanna Wiegele. Hanna also struggling, and remember, Hanna, we know her from the World Cup. She started off the year for the Austrian team in Lillehammer, and so that means she really is jumping at quite a reasonable level. But again, challenging conditions. Rhea really powerful in the takeoff, which helped her get that extra height. So just the finesse isn't going to get you there right now. All right, next up, here comes Ling Yao Wang from China. Good direction and a nice looking ride. You can see the crowd giving her some recognition for that jump. Again, we have to keep things into perspective. It's been a tough qualification round so far, so that was quite a leap for Ling Yao. Cracking into the triple digits, that was a jump of 105 meters for Ling Yao. But look at that, plus 8.9 points for wind compensation. So that means she had the best conditions so far and really made the most of it. Next up, this is a promising young athlete, 16 years old from Slovakia, Kira Maria Kupustikova. Lacking the height needed, and that is a shame. We've seen some really promising jumps from Kira so far this season. Again, she's very young, but there are great elements of her technique. If we watch the replay, let's see what we can see. Getting that rotation skis really nice and flat, keeping the air pressure, but again, with these conditions, she wasn't really able to make the most of the hill. Distance of 92.5 meters, but minus 0.2 for wind compensation. So like I said, part of the game is luck. Conditions seem to be going in the favorable direction, which is good news for the next athlete. Here comes Shiyu Zhu. Shiyu, come on. And a nice looking ride. That would be the longest jump we've seen today. And the tailwind has returned, so I spoke too soon. But look at that low upper body angle. And really, really patient coming over the knoll. Skis nice and flat, maximizing the surface area. And a 108 meter jump, putting her into the top spot. China currently 1-2, followed by Rhea Kindliman. Next up from Romania, here comes Daniela Vasilica Toth. Donna from Romania, she's been the leader of the nation for a long time. I would say probably 15 years. And it's been a lonely road for her for a lot of it, but she's stayed strong, continued to try to show her best. Slow start to the season for Donna, but I think slowly getting back on track. Distance of 99 meters. Puts her into 4th place. As I said, you need to be into the top 30 if you want a chance in that first round. Next German to come, here comes Emily Tarazza. Good looking ride, there we go. That was a big jump for Emily. Emily also in that category with Alvina, where they have been part of the World Cup team, gotten that World Cup experience. But that was a great jump for her. 115 meters, plus 15.6 points for wind compensation, so not easy conditions. And you can tell from her reaction there, she is pleased with that effort. Big smile, and that is your new leader, Emily Tarazza. All right, this was a big surprise for us in Garmisch. Let's see what she can do here. This is Julina Kreibich. Low upper body like we're used to, but not quite the distance we just saw from her teammate. Julina managed to crack into that top 30, get a start in the competition, the knockout competition in Garmisch. We were hoping to see the same for her today. It'll keep her in contention for sure. 109.5. And into 2nd place behind her teammate Emily. Next to come, this is Bing Dong from China. Her teammates currently sitting in 3rd and 4th place. Ooh, a little unsteady in the air the first part, but trying to make the most of it. Coming down at 109.5, matching the distance exactly of Julina Kreibich. see a little going left and right in the air, but still continuing the direction. So no hesitation there for Bang Dong. Puts her into third place for the moment. On the hill now we have Anna Holland from Germany. Anna, of course, a very popular German ski jumper. Had a slow start to the year, but really trying to get back to her ways. It's been on, won some world championship medals, and has had a really big impact on the sport. Coming down at 111 meters. You can see just a lot of tension still in her jump. That's not the fluid, confident Anna that we're used to seeing, but always great to have her around, and hope she figures it out soon. So the Chinese having a very strong contingent here at the 2 nights tour. Bang Dong currently in third, Xiyu Zhou in fourth, and Lingyao Wang in sixth. But looking at the graphic, we're seeing some headwind, of course. There's wind coming from all directions, so it is a matter of having the opportunity to jump at the right time. And the light is green, so jury says it's time to go. Here comes Qi Liu from China. Let's take a look at the wind points. Plus 0.6, so not much to say about that distance of 107. You can see her arms, kind of a little hesitation there, pulling her back. She's not super sure of the direction where she wants to go. And that'll be the end of the day for her. Into 7th place for now. Emily Tarazza from Germany still in the top spot with that beautiful 115-meter jump. Next Chinese, here comes Yangning Wang. She has the height. We know her for that kind of high angle, and saw her struggle a bit with landings in Garmisch already. Coming down this time a bit short though, 104 meters. See a lot of upper body, high angle. Once she figures that out, if she can use that and push in the right direction, it could be quite effective. But right now, a lot of the pieces not quite aligning. Two Italians at the start today, and first to come, here comes Martina Sanica. Solid and confident coming over the knoll. You saw it, she kept a lot more speed, and that is what you need, especially in conditions like this. Nice development. Skis coming with her here, and a good telemark. So adding all those things, all those variables together, Martina into 5th place. And here we're seeing our first athlete from Poland. This is Pola Beltowska. Not quite the jump we were hoping to see from Pola. She's shown us some very great efforts earlier in the season. Apparently had some issues with her hand. Coming down at 104 meters for Beltowska. You can see her legs kind of falling under a little bit in the second half. Tough. Pola into 10th place. Now, this is always an athlete I like to watch and see what she's up to. Like I said, we have a few athletes from Finland switching between the Nordic Combined circuit and the World Cup circuit. Minja being one of them. Starting the season with us in Lillehammer and then going back to the Nordic Combined circuit just to find her way back here for the 2 nights tour. So it looks like they're holding her for a while. Light has gone red, so off the bar for Minya. Miran Tepish down there making sure that everybody is getting as fair of conditions as possible. Emily Tarazza very happy to be down there enjoying the leader's box for now. She had a huge jump of 115 meters. Currently has a 12.7 point lead ahead of her teammate Julina. So there you can see Minya staying calm up there, waiting for her chance. And for an athlete like this, those arrows pointing up the hill are good news. Minya, pretty small in stature jumper, but very efficient in her technique. So headwind could be quite beneficial for her, especially. Sports fans of all ages gathered here today in Oberstdorf, excited to cheer on their favorite athletes. There in the middle of your screen, that's Hetta Hirvonen, so another one of the Finnish multi-sport athletes. But let's focus on Minya for now, back on the bar now, waiting for the green light. And she has the green. Here she comes from Finland, Minja Korhonen. There we go. She created that height for herself and making the most of it. The cameraman lost her out there in the air, but we knew that was a great jump for Minya, and I believe that will be your new leader. You can see creating that height from the takeoff and really efficient in the flight here. And much further than I think they expected to see this early in the round. Minya with a big smile, and look at that, despite the large distance of 123, puts her in the second behind Emily Tarazza. Another one who could use some headwind here. This is Josephine Panier from France. Josephine direct and making the most of it with a strong telemark. We missed Josephine for a bit of the season, taking a step back, getting some time to train, make sure her level was where she wanted it to be. A little late on the timing, which is unfortunately sometimes signature Josephine. Puts her into fourth place, and that may not be enough to qualify for the competition today. Emily Tarazza, followed by Minja Korhonen and Julina Kreibich, currently 1, 2, 3. Next to come from Slovenia, this is Katra Komar. Low flying, but really making the most of it. Katra Komar with that signature Slovenian ability to just skim centimeters from the ground. 117.5 meters for Katra. And just so you guys all know, we are now in the zone of athletes who have all scored multiple World Cup points already this season. So it's getting tougher, and it's great to see those fresh new names up at the top of the board. Katra Komar into fourth place. So Minja Korhonen currently sitting in second place, and her teammate on the bar now, waiting for her chance to go. Julia, of course, not one of the two-sport athletes. She has been a leader on the Finnish ski jumping side for a long time. And looking up the hill, that's unfortunate. Looks like we're moving down 2 gates again, which good news being that there might be a little bit of headwind. Bad news being the speed has been reduced already, which I would have liked to see some further jumps before we make that decision. But again, I'm sitting here, just an observer like you. So if they want our opinion, I guess they can ask for it. All right, here she comes from Finland, Julia Kikkonen. Direct over their skis and a good jump for Julia. So we're back to the start gate where the competition began. So the points that you're going to see added up on the right hand of your screen, those are the pure win points. Good looking jump for Julia, distance of 116.5. Again, Julia has many, many years of World Cup experience under her belt. And there we go. Into third place, we see that minus 8.4, so a light headwind, which is where that reaction came from to move down. Next up from Slovenia, this is Maja Kovačić. Good looking jump for Maja. Nice work for the Slovenian. It's been somewhat of a quiet force this season. Every competition just continuing to gather more and more World Cup points and really making a name for herself. 19 years old and a beautiful 127 meter jump. So there's your new leader, dethroning Emily Torazza after many, many jumpers. But really, despite the extra distance there, only 5.1 points separating first and second. Next up from the U.S., here comes Josie Johnson. Josie extreme flyer, and that was close. So luckily she didn't touch the ground ahead of the fall line, but she's going to see some deductions from the judges, unfortunately. But great, look at that connection here. So smooth, and like I said, on Josie's best jumps, we see this patience, letting her build over the knoll. Ooh. Hopefully we don't see too many deductions for that little bobble there on the landing. But still, great jump, 123 into third place, and Josie did a great job already in Garmisch, first American into the knockouts on the 2 nights tour. From one American to another, we are waiting for the next one to come. So current 1, 2, 3, we have Maja Kovačić, Emily Torazza, and Josie Johnson. Josie with minimal headwind deductions, so I'm hoping that conditions are good, especially for the next few athletes. Oh, and at 59 seconds, we move to green. That goes to show you have to be ready for anything. Here comes Annika Belshaw. Come on. Flying a little low. And I mean, that's such a mind game. You're sitting up there on the bar watching the seconds tick away. You know after 60 seconds the light will turn green or turn red. And for Annika there, it turned green at the very last second. A little late on the timing and trying to make the most of it. But we'll see Annika dropping back a few spots. 110 meters and into 8th place for now. Next up, here comes Finnish athlete Jenny Rautinaho. Her teammates currently sitting in 4th and 5th. Jenny, a great ski flyer herself, so where there's time to fly, she makes the most of it. And they're coming down at 116 meters. Minus 2.5 points for wind compensation, so rather calm conditions out there. Jenny into 5th place. So that splits her Finnish teammates there. So we currently have Finland in 4, 5, and 6. So 2 Americans already at the bottom and 1 on the bar. Here she comes. She is strong on the takeoff and will make the most of this. This is Paige Jones from the U.S. Creating the height for herself, and a good-looking jump for Paige Jones. 110.5 meters. Minimal wind point. Here you can see really low with the upper body. Driving into the second half. And Paige spending some time to work on her telemark, making sure she gets more points there. Unfortunately, that won't be enough today. Puts her into 12th place. And important to note, we still haven't seen our first qualified athletes qualified being top 30. So let's see if the next one can do it. Yuzuki Sato. Solid jump, also down around that 114, 115 meter mark. 113.5 for Yuzuki. Solid style points, but again, the tailwind has returned. Plus 11.2 points. And that will be good news for our first qualified athlete, which will be Maja Kovacic. Yuzuki still 3 out from qualifying. So still a chance for her, but we'll have to wait and see. The Canadian team, small but mighty, spending a lot of time in Slovenia. Both Abby and Nicole having moved there, I would say full time. And I don't think they made it home for Christmas, so they will get to see their family either at the Olympics or in April. Or if they get lucky and someone comes to a competition. But it's a tough life on the road for these athletes. There you can see Janko Cvitar is their coach. He's right across the border from Slovenia in Austria, so the women spend a lot of time training in Planica. 2 Slovenian athletes right there, Nika and Nika. Vodan and Preds, of course. Nika Preds, the current leader in the tour. Still second in the World Cup overall, so looking to grab that yellow bib. Ooh, but this could be good. So we're seeing another reaction from the jury, moving up 2 gates. So from what we've seen from Nicole, she's had some great jumps recently, so a little extra speed is always welcome. Here we go. Light is green, and on the hill now, Nicole Maurer from Canada. She has the height, and continuing. Solid jump for Nicole. Frustration, however, apparent. Distance of 111.5 meters. You can see kind of her feet coming under a little bit after takeoff. Here she corrects and is really flying well this year. But unfortunately, without the major distance points, that won't be enough for today. You can see the disappointment there. Next up from Finland, here comes Hetta Hirvonen. 17 years old, ski jumping and Nordic Combined sensation, and a huge jump for Hetta, coming back from the Nordic Combined circuit and throwing down with a jump of 120 meters. Her teammates all sitting together right now, 5th, 6th, 7th, but Hetta might be leading the Finnish team now. And Hetta into 6th place, joining her teammates. Finland currently 5, 6, 7, 8. And for Team USA, great news. Josie Johnson is on to her second knockout pairing and qualified for the competition. Next up from Czechia, this is Klara Orikova. Oh, Klara has really struggled with that right ski. She had a breakthrough performance and then had a bit of a scare in Germany a few weekends ago, and unfortunately hasn't been able to really recover from that. Her teammate Agnieszka having a great last few competitions, setting the new national record currently at 132 meters. And the tricky part of such a busy schedule is it doesn't leave much time for training, and Klara needing to iron out a few details there. Next up from Norway, on the hill already, Ingvild Synnøve Midtskogen, and a great flight for Ingvild. There we go, 120 meters. So one of the furthest jumps we've seen today. Let's watch the replay here. Ingvild, she's only 18, but has such a presence in the air. Putting Ingvild into 3rd place, just ahead of her half teammate Josie Johnson, the Norwegians and the Americans, of course, training together and spending a lot of time together up in Lillehammer. Next up from Switzerland, Sina Arnett. And a good jump for Sina, but we saw it a little early on the landing, coming down ahead of that gray line, which means she is not comfortably qualified yet. Sina having a great season, leading the young Swiss team. She's only 20 years old herself. Has racked up quite a few World Cup points this season, but unfortunately, I think Oberstdorf will be out for her into 11th place. Like I said, the proud proud record holder for Czechia. Here comes Agnieszka Indračková. Ooh! Oh no! Oh, that is a bummer. I would say that was just a little mistake on the landing. Off balance. You can see the coaches just, no one likes to see a crash, and especially from an athlete like this, having the season of her life. Okay, we see her. She just got up. Oh, I hope everything is okay. And you have to remember, these athletes are flying and really moving at big speeds, coming in over 100 kilometers an hour right onto bare ice. Oof. 118 meters for Agnieszka, and unfortunately not qualified, but walking out of here, so we're happy to see that. Getting a chance to watch the replay here. Super aggressive, so she's definitely feeling confident. Little movement there from her ski, and this is where she kind of lost control a little bit. And okay, so it looks like her knees came together before she crashed. So again, I'm not an expert here, but hoping everything is okay. Athletes at the top, I would say, looking at them, each and every one has dealt with a challenging knee injury, and you can see no one likes to see that. But again, hopefully everything's okay for Agnieszka, and we're hoping to see her back on the hill at the next stop. So the show must go on. Christian Meyer from Norway here, the head coach. He already has his arm out, ready to flag the next contender from Norway. Here she comes. This is Gita Vestfold Hansen. Gita had a great performance in Garmisch and another great jump. And I'm starting to see some of those celebrations we saw back there in the Nordic Combined era. Gita, one of the, I would say, the most successful Nordic Combined athletes, and she made the switch over to ski jumping this year and really started, I don't know, the last weekend in December just on fire. And you can see she's very pleased with that effort. 127 meters and puts her into the top spot. So very happy with that. We're seeing some more qualified athletes. They're about halfway through the finish team. And next to come, this is Anna Twardosz from Poland. Better on the takeoff. And a nice jump for Anna. That was important. She struggled a little bit in the last few competitions, but finding her way back to her form that she's shown us this year. 117.5 meters. So plus 9.4 points for wind compensation. So a little bit of tailwind, but she's coming from 28. So I'm hoping that puts her solidly into the competition. And it does. 6th place qualified, and we'll see her in the knockouts. Final athlete from Italy. This is Annika Siev. Aggressive, and that's going to be close. Solid telemark, of course, which is important, but that was very close to that qualifying line. So it could go either way for Siev. You see almost a little over-rotating there, having to pause, bring it back, finding the balance again in the second half. And Siev into 11th place, which just bumped Jenny Rautinaho from Finland in, but she's currently sitting one out from qualifying. Now here was a great star from Garmisch, top 6. It's her birthday today. Here comes Ping Zhang. Aggressive in that flat flight position, and it's working here in Oberstdorf too. Great looking jump for the 21-year-old Chinese athlete, 125.5 meters. You can see that left ski, I mean, a little sketchy, little out there, but she really keeps her speed over the knoll. Very direct line, super aerodynamic. And that puts Zhang into 2nd place behind Norwegian Ida Vestfold Hansen. Next up from Japan, this is Ringo Miyajima. There we go, Ringo back in the mix. Unfortunately missed qualifying in Garmisch, but Japan, of course, leading the Nations Cup, so they are the strongest nation in the world right now. And you don't get that from just having 1 or 2 stars. You need to have a strong team. Ringo right on the edge here. Very aggressive, but you can see the confidence in her second half, just committed to pulling away, and it's paying off. Ringo Miyajima into 8th place and through to the knockouts. Next up from Norway, Celia Opseth. Good looking height for Celia, and a solid jump for the Norwegian. You can see she was satisfied with that effort. That was one of the better jumps we've seen from her. She's been really improving the last few weeks. Opseth, of course, a very well-known name on the Norwegian team. Will it be enough to take over the top spot from her teammate? And it won't be, but good enough for 3rd place. Celia's happy with that. So we have Hansen, Zhang, Opseth, 1, 2, 3. And this is not a jury decision, but a coach's request rather. So we're seeing Frida Viessmann coming down from lower speed. This has been something we've become rather accustomed to. So challenging for her, but let's see what she can do. coming out of gate 26 now. Lowest speed we've seen today. Here she comes from Sweden, Frida Viessmann. Frida creating some great dynamics out there. Wow, and you can see from that celebration, she was very happy with that distance of 129.5. Now that was great. Off of the takeoff, I wasn't so sure, but she created this energy out there in the flight. You can see, not super pleased, but we'll see what's going on there. Puts her into 5th place for now. Happy with the jump, but not happy with the placing. So, I know this is confusing. Frida went from 26, coach's request, but now the jury has decided to move down from 30 to 28. So the next athlete, Juliana Seifert, does not need to jump within 95% of hill size for the bonus points, but will have to deal with the lower speed. German fans are slowly starting to wake back up again. Of course, Germany was stacked at the very beginning of the competition, but here's an athlete who has been on the circuit for many years and definitely acquired quite a few fans along the way. Juliana Seifert. Listen to the crowd pulling Juliana down the hill, and it is working. Juliana with a beautiful 121-meter ride. Really nice jump for Seifert. Minimal wind compensation points, and puts her into 6th place right behind Frida Viessmann, who we saw jump before. All right, next up, here comes Austrian Julia Mühlbacher. Julia strong, developing a lot of height herself, but unfortunately a little too direct of an angle, or too, I guess, up of an angle from the takeoff, giving her that height but not letting her carry the speed to the bottom. Right here, getting a little stuck behind the skis, making that rotation and flying down to 115.5. And will it be enough? And it is enough to qualify. You see the Q right next to that score. So good news for her, but I think a little further back than she would like. Next up from Japan, Yuki Ito. Also not the very best jump we've seen from Yuki. In Garmisch, she also struggled a little bit, qualifying 30th. Put her up against her teammate Nozomi Maruyama. And I would say Yuki Ito, technically always a beautiful jumper to watch, very stylish. She gets those good judges' points. But unfortunately, without the big distance, that actually just has Yuki out for now. That jump moved Annika Sief from Italy into the competition, and Yuki will have to wait and see. Only 0.2 of a point between the athletes. Yuki's teammate now, Yuka Sato. Good looking jump for Yuka, and comfortably making it down towards that K point. So that will not be helping her teammate Yuki make it in, but will hopefully put her in a good spot for that first round. Distance of 119 meters for Sato. And it looks like the nations are liking to stick together today. Miyajima, Sato, and Sato, 11, 12, 13 right now. But let's see if the Norwegians want to stick together. Gita Vestfold Hansen currently in first place. Here comes Irene Maria Kvandal. Nice height for Irene, pulling away from the hill, and a great jump for the Norwegian. I would say that should put her up there in contention. Distance of 125 meters. And Irene, another athlete who has dealt with many challenging setbacks, physical setbacks, knee injuries, and this season has been really performing so strong. Kvandal into third, ahead of her teammate Upset. So currently Norway 1, 3, and 4. All right, first of two Nikas. Here comes Nika Vodan from Slovenia. Ooh, and I would say that was a fine jump for Nika Vodan. Nothing too special. You can see very aggressive in run position. Here a moment of kind of trying to find the balance. And coming down at 119 meters for the Slovenian. And into 11th place. So Josie Johnson actually continuing to climb. She's currently in 10th. So good news for the US fans. Next up from Germany, fan favorite, here comes Katharina Schmidt. Ooh, that was a shocker. Katharina Schmidt back on the podium in Engelberg, but now coming up short. Oof, that is not what we expected to see from the Olympic champion. Ay, ay, ay. Katharina Schmidt into 20th. She's qualified. That's all she needed. That Q next to her name, and she will definitely deliver for her fans in that second round, or in that first knockout round. Yuki Ito still one out from qualifying. So also important to note, plus 17.7 win compensation points for Althaus. Katharina Schmidt, rather. So a little bit of tailwind out there again. And Schmidt, technically a very clean jumper. So not one that's normally too affected by the conditions. But you could see she struggled on that one. Whew. So I believe we're into the top 10 now, but we're seeing, if you look on the right hand of your screen, that there's a lot of arrows pointing down the hill and a red coloring, which two things you don't want to see. It means there's too much wind outside of the corridor, and we're going to wait. That's good news, I would say, for Agnes Reich up there at the top. There's your leader, Gita Vestfold Hansen from Norway. Another, like I said, Nordic Combined athlete, made the switch over to ski jumping for this Olympic season. And I think she wants to be sure that Norway knows to select her when they're making the nomination, which will be coming up soon. Olympics just ahead in February. So we're currently waiting for the winds to calm down a little bit. Katharina Schmidt showing us that it's tough out there. Luckily making it through to the qualification. We'll take a moment to review our current standings. We have Gita Vestfold Hansen in first, who you saw her down in the leaders box, followed by Peng Zhang from China, who had a great standout performance in Garmisch, followed by Irene Marie Kvandal, Celia Upset, and Maja Kovacic, currently the top Slovenian. So that is exciting. Top German right now, Juliana Seifert in 7th, followed by Emily Tarazza, also with a low bib number, starting bib number 18, currently in 8th place. Josie Johnson from the US in 10th place. So she'll find herself a, I would say, more equal pairing in the knockout system. So top 30 qualify, 30th goes against first, 29th against second, and so on and so forth. So the more close to the middle you are, the more equal, based on the qualification results, your competitor. And the good news is, even if you don't win the knockout pairing, if you still have a good jump, you can be one of 5 lucky losers. So 20 total advancing to the final round. It's an exciting format, but definitely tough with such a limited field in the first round of competition. On the men's side, 50 qualify. On the women's side, only 30. So looking up the hill, we can't see too much from this angle. I have that nice area to cover the athletes in case of snow, which it looks like Germany could use some. I think a lot of the European countries are still waiting for that big snow. Hopefully 26 will bring some more of that. But for ski jumping, conditions are perfect. We don't need a whole lot of snow. Just enough to do the landing hill, and then a lot of the modern jumps have a refrigeration system built in for the track. So you basically need to load it up and then turn a switch, turns on the refrigeration, and ice is created right under the athlete's feet inside an artificial track. So that is very different from the olden days where you had to ski on pure snow and carve a track out of ice. Of course, there are some hills still using that traditional method, like Lillehammer, which was, of course, the beginning of the World Cup circuit. Tailwind continues to prevail with a strong right over the knoll, which does not help. So according to my notes here, I'm seeing a trial jumper will be starting soon, making sure the track is clear, possibly seeing a gate adjustment. Schmidt currently came from gate 28, so I'm assuming we'll move back up to 30. In this round, we've seen a combination between gate 30, gate 28, and of course the coach's request of gate 26 for Frida Viessmann, who actually has our long jump of the day at 129.5 meters. So for you guys at home, there you can see top 21 currently qualified, 9 athletes to go at the top. Yuki Ito from Japan still 1 out, and yeah, it would be surprised to see any of the top 9 not make it through, but anything can happen. Sounds like the fans are very engaged. They're ready to see some more action. Of course, they have 2 Germans left up there in the top 9. The next to come will be Agnes Reich and then Selina Freitag. Selina, of course, put on such a great show in Garmisch. Some incredible jumps and adding another second place finish to her resume. All right, looks like it's time to go on with the show. Let's see, we're looking at gate 30, so good news for Agnes. Little less tailwind, little more speed. Could be golden. Here she comes from Germany, Agnes Reich. Nice power, nice height. And look at, you see the green line moved far up the hill, meaning you didn't have to have the same distance from before in order to take the lead. Agnes, of course, not super excited about landing at 113.5, but I believe it will work out better than she expected. You can see that reaction there. She did not think that was good enough. But hey, 7th place, again, puts her in a good spot for the knockout, comfortably qualified. Norway currently 1, 3, and 4. Let's see how the next athlete does and where she mixes in with her team. Here comes Heidi Dira Trosserud. Ooh, Heidi, little vertical. Ooh, yo, 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 yo. Ooh, this is going to be close. Heidi started the season so strong, really high in the rankings. But that was not a textbook Heidi jump here. Ooh, just off balance a bit. You can't see as well from this angle, but kind of hanging behind her skis. And getting majorly docked there by the judges. Heidi Trossrud into 30th. And Yuki Ito into the competition. Here comes Yuki's teammate, Sarah Takanashi, most World Cup wins of all time. Very solid jump for Sarah. Over that K point, strong telemark. Distance of 120.5, plus 13 points for wind compensation. And I would say Sarah is definitely one to watch. Of course, she has a very famous name. She is very successful in her own right, but these last few weeks she has really been showing us a great level, and I think we're ready to see Takanashi back on the World Cup podium into 5th place for now. Hero from Garmisch, here comes Selina Freitag. The crowd knows to cheer for her, and what a jump it was! Selina is absolutely on fire. It doesn't matter what kind of wind there is. Her level of jumping is really incredible. 125.5 meters. One of the furthest jumps we've seen today, but remember, coming with a bit of tailwind here. And that doesn't look totally satisfied to me, but enough for first place. I don't think we can complain about that. The fans are happy as well. And looking up the hill full, we have 5 to go. So Selina wants to be on the very top of the podium, and we respect her for that. Here comes Lisa Eder from Austria. Nice jump for Lisa, another athlete who has really turned it on in the last few weeks. Where we saw a little bit of tension coming over the knoll, here she's kind of released that, kept her upper body low, and allowing her to fly over her skis all the way to the bottom of the hill. Ada with a beautiful 129.5 meters. And there we go, taking that top spot from Selina. And that was a fun little exchange saying, take the seat. All right, here we go, 4 to come. From Canada now, Abby Straight. Good looking jump for Abby. Nice jump. She's another one who's not satisfied with being anywhere in the top 10. She is ready to be on the podium every weekend. There you can see a little upper body engagement. She fixed it, and really where she's improved so much this season especially is that second half of flight. Really being able to fly all the way down. And enough for second. So again, this is just qualification. Important now. Have a good jump. Get yourself as high up in the rankings to make your knockout pairing a little easier. But 3 athletes to come now. Here is Anna Odina Strum. And a solid jump for Anna Odina Strum. I wouldn't say that was her very best. Again, she's ranked number 3 in the world right now. So not her best, is still very, very good. Anna Odina Strum with a distance of 127.5. And there we go, Norway into the lead. Right now we have Anna Odina Strum first, Lisa Eder second, Abby Straight from Canada third. But it's really been a showdown between the last 2. First to come, this is the leader of the 2 nights tour, Nika Preutz. Smooth and patient as ever, Preutz. Holy moly, that was another great jump for her. 20 years old, and from what we saw in Garmisch, she has found peace, found confidence, and knows with her good jumps she is untouchable. Distance of 134.5 meters. Really strong judges' points, the best we've seen today, 53.5 points there. You can see not much of a reaction from the stoic Slovenian. But this is the one to watch. Of course, this is Nika's rival. Nika and everyone with that gold bib. She is leading the World Cup overall. So although Preutz is on top in the 2 nights tour standings, if you calculate all the World Cups together so far this season, Nozomi Maruyama is still in the lead. She's of course waiting for the green light. Light is red. Maruyama off the bar. Again, could be helpful if there's tailwind out there, but we'll have to wait and see what's going on. There you have your leader, Nika Preutz. She's going to be getting her stuff together and, of course, getting ready for the knockout. So unlike on the men's side where they have qualification one day and the competition the next, the women had a huge day today. 2 training jumps, qualification, and then hopefully 2 competition rounds to follow. Okay, Nozomi is back on the bar, but guess what? She is down 1 gate to gate 29. You're seeing that minus 3.8 points up there. Let's see what she can do. 1 less gate of speed, Nozomi Maruyama. And another solid ride. Definitely wanting to contend with that leap from Nika Preutz. Very solid 126.5 with plus 14.9 points for wind compensation. That'll help her out, and we'll put her in a good spot for the knockout pairings. Ooh, that is not a look we're used to from Nozomi. Looks like she's starting to question herself a little bit, not quite as satisfied as we're used to. But we won't have to wait long now to see the results and the knockout pairings. So here we're going to see top 30 making it through to the competition. Josie Johnson, a very strong 18th in the qualification round. Yuki Ito just making it in to round out the 30. And good news for today's qualification champion. That is Nika Preutz, of course. Happy to take that check to the bank. But again, the day is far from over. No time to enjoy a qualification victory. Time to get back up to the top of the hill. Make sure your skis are are waxed and fast. No edges on these ski jumping skis. And get ready for the competition. So that is set to start at 4:15. So lucky for you, you don't have to wait very long. 20 minutes away.